16 major channels, gone, erasing 47 million lifetime views and 35 million subscribers overnight. And the revenue they wiped? $10 million a year. Just like that. This was YouTube's biggest crackdown on AI-generated content ever. But here's the question nobody's asking. Was this a cleanup or a cover-up? Let me show you exactly what happened. In January 2026, YouTube finally acted. 16 major channels terminated. 47 billion lifetime views vanished. Over 35 million subscribers affected. These channels, estimated to pull in roughly $10 million annually, were axed in what looked like a massive AI slop purge. But this wasn't a sudden decision. This was a slow burn, a scandal brewing for years. We have the receipts. Kapwing, a video editing platform, published a report in November 2025, analyzing 15,000 of YouTube's most popular channels. Their findings? 278 channels consisted entirely of what they called AI slop. That's 63 billion total views, 221 million subscribers, and a staggering $117 million in estimated annual revenue. One of those channels, Cuentos Fascinantes, had amassed over 1.2 billion views and nearly 6.7 million subscribers before YouTube finally pulled the plug. This wasn't just a few bad actors, it was a whole ecosystem. And here's where it gets insane. 21 to 33% of YouTube's feed might consist of this AI slop or brain-rot content. Over half the videos recommended to a new account were low-quality AI. They knew this was a problem for years. Here's the question nobody's asking. Was this purge about cleaning up the platform, or about controlling the narrative before it exploded? So, YouTube claims they're cleaning house. But let's look at the scale of the problem they allowed to fester. Kapwing's November 2025 report wasn't just a warning, it was a siren. They identified 278 channels dedicated to AI slop, racking up 63 billion views and an estimated $117 million in annual revenue. This wasn't a fringe issue, it was mainstream. Consider Cuentos Fascinantes, a channel pumping out Dragon Ball-themed AI videos. It had over 1.2 billion views and between 5.9 and 6.6 million subscribers. Then there's Imperio de Jesus, a religious AI content channel with 5.8 million subscribers that actually cracked Kapwing's global top 50. These weren't small-time operations. Super Cat League, with around 4 million subscribers, specialized in AI cat cinema. Think cats having affairs, shooting down eagles. Bizarre, yes, but profitable. And the fake movie trailers? Screen Culture and KH Studio, both with over 1 million subscribers and 500 million views each, were masters of this. They created fake trailers so convincing that some outranked official trailers in search results. These channels were estimated to generate millions each annually. This wasn't just content, it was a business model built on exploiting the algorithm. And the revenue? $117 million. That's the scale of the AI slop problem they conveniently addressed in January 2026. But wait, it gets worse. What about the channels that are still active despite these concerns? They want you to believe they've cleaned house. But let's look at who's still standing. Bandar Apna Dost, an Indian channel, boasts over 2.07 billion views and has an estimated annual revenue of $4.25 million alone. That's over 38 crore rupees. Still actively churning out content. Then there are the various Spanish and US channels, accumulating over 20.2 million and 14.4 million subscribers, respectively, all under the radar of this so-called purge. These are not insignificant numbers. This suggests the crackdown wasn't as comprehensive as they claim. It raises a crucial question. Who gets to be deleted, and who gets a pass? And why? The Kapwing report clearly identified channels like Screen Culture and KH Studio as problematic, yet they were only terminated in December 2025, after studios like Sony had already started claiming revenue through Content ID. These channels were even briefly demonetized in March 2025, then had their monetization restored after agreeing to label their content as fan trailer or parody. This back and forth suggests a pattern of leniency. Is this a genuine effort to clean up, or a strategic move to appear decisive while allowing certain profitable ventures to continue? The hypocrisy is staggering. Let's trace the timeline of this supposed crackdown. It's a masterclass in corporate deflection. March 2025. YouTube demonetizes screen culture and KH Studio. Studios like Sony start claiming revenue. The channels agree to label their content fan trailer or parody. Monetization is restored. A temporary fix. July 15, 2025. YouTube Partner Program Policy Update. Repetitious content is rebranded as inauthentic content, requiring significantly original and authentic material. Mass-produced AI content starts getting demonetized. But was this enforcement? November 2025. Kapwing drops its bombshell report, identifying 278 AI slop channels. The problem is now undeniable. December 2025. Screen Culture and KH Studio are finally terminated. But here's the kicker. They had reverted to misleading practices after their earlier reinstatement. The public reacted with celebration. A Reddit thread hit 43,000 upvotes. A Culture Crave post on X got over 4 million views. It looked like a victory. January 2026. The Big Purge. 16 channels deleted, 47 billion views erased, 35 million subscribers affected, $10 million in annual revenue eliminated. All from Kapwing's list. January 21st, 2026. YouTube CEO Neil Mohan publishes his annual letter, declaring managing AI slop a priority for 2026 and announcing deepfake detection expansion. This entire sequence feels less like proactive cleanup and more like damage control, reacting only when the pressure became unbearable and the numbers too big to ignore. So, YouTube claims they're managing AI slop and expanding deepfake detection. Neil Mohan stated in his 2026 letter, "The rise of AI has raised concerns about low-quality content, aka AI slop. As an open platform, we allow for a broad range of free expression while ensuring YouTube remains a place where people feel good spending their time." He also said, "It's becoming harder to detect what's real and what's AI generated." This is the core of the controversy. They knew it was hard, yet they allowed it to flourish for years, generating over $117 million annually from the top channels alone. They point to policy updates, labeling requirements, and content ID evolution, but the evidence suggests a pattern of selective enforcement. The public celebrated the January 2026 Purge, but that celebration is short-lived. Bandar Apnadust is still active, raking in millions. New AI slop channels are emerging daily. The tools are becoming more sophisticated, making detection even harder. And the fear of false positives looms large, with 12 million channels terminated between January and September 2025. While YouTube claims many of those were for financial scams, the sheer volume creates anxiety for legitimate creators. They had a choice: enforce their policies consistently from the start, or allow a lucrative low-effort content farm to grow. They chose the latter. And the result? A platform flooded with brain rot, where genuine creativity is drowned out by AI-generated noise. The question isn't if YouTube can detect AI slop. The question is, will they continue to prioritize profit over a healthy platform? Let's recap. YouTube knew about AI slop for years. They saw channels like Cuentos Fascinantes racking up over 1.2 billion views and Screen Culture generating millions annually. They saw Kapwing report 63 billion views and $117 million in revenue from AI slop channels alone. Yet, they only acted decisively in January 2026, purging 16 channels and erasing $10 million in revenue. Their response? A CEO letter about managing AI slop and deepfake detection expansion. And their reward? Public celebration for a cleanup that still leaves channels like Bandar Apnadust active, earning millions. Here's what I keep coming back to. They actively cultivated and profited from this AI slop ecosystem for years, exploiting loopholes and algorithm biases. The purge wasn't a sudden act of conscience. It was a calculated move to quell public outrage and appear responsible after the problem reached critical mass and studios started reclaiming their intellectual property. That's a choice. And YouTube made it. The question isn't if they can detect AI slop. The question is, will they ever truly prioritize a healthy platform over the immediate, immense profits generated by AI-generated content? and algorithmic exploitation.